Downing Street's hopes of opening Brexit talks on a future trade deal have been given a boost by Denmark, whose finance minister dismissed the EU's wrangling over the UK's divorce bill as a game that requires swift political compromise. Kristian Jensen told The Guardian he believed both sides should be ready to move the talks on following the concessions made in Theresa May's speech in Florence last month. Jensen said, "In any political negotiations, there is not enough time, not enough money, not enough this, not enough that. This is part of the game. Because what we are dealing with here is not rocket science. We are not speaking about putting a man on Mars or solving the problem of CO2 emissions. We are now on the same page. In my view, it is rather important we get into a more close and more speedy process on concluding some of the issues." The fifth round of the Brexit negotiations start on Monday, and Germany and France are among the member states who still want to continue to restrict the scope of the negotiations until more firm guarantees on money are made by the British. But the UK is hoping other member states will want to be more flexible after May offered to pay €20 billion to ensure no member state loses out in the 2 years after May 2019. UK will be ready if Brexit talks with EU fail, says David Davis. Read more on Tuesday. The EU's chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, told the European Parliament he was holding out for the UK to agree to honor all its past financial commitments, no more, no less. The EU is insisting that until sufficient progress is made on that issue, along with citizens' rights and the Irish border, it will not open up talks about the future, something the European Commission had originally planned to happen at a summit in Brussels on the 19th of October. A meeting of EU ambassadors on Friday was split on how best to encourage the UK to make further commitments on the financial settlement. However, one suggestion, which did not command majority support, was that at the European Council summit, the EU would offer to discuss between themselves how a future trade relationship would work or open scoping discussions about a transition period, in an attempt to encourage Britain to be more forthcoming. Representatives of the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, and the French President, Emmanuel Macron, led a group of member states stridently opposed to showing such flexibility. Jensen, whose country would be affected more than most by a trade barrier between the UK and the EU, said the bloc would nevertheless have to compromise.